Hi again, and welcome to day 9 of my 30-day challenge going online. Tonight, last night I was talking about fear, and particularly I was really addressing some of the issues about fear of speaking, public speaking, although also went into the fear that's faced by trans people. Tonight, this whole week, I'm going to be spending time just looking at the whole issue of public speaking and how we can become better speakers, and looking at storytelling as well. I'm doing quite a lot of work around that because I'm putting together a workshop that's going to be running in October and November. And I'm doing some keynote presentations for the East Riding or the East Yorkshire Expo on storytelling and public speaking. So that's all going to be happening later in this month. So I'm doing a lot of work in preparation at the moment now. So I thought it would be a good idea just to to work with that on here. I'm also going to be looking at getting a few guests next week. So but for this week, it's going to be solo presentation, just talking about issues around that. Now, I've always been a big fan of Toastmasters. I got involved in 1990 in a Toastmasters club, started to and basically joined a club that was about to get going. It was sort of had half its members together to create a charter. The London Corinthians Speakers Club, now one of the most well-established and well-known of the London clubs. And after that, I then moved on to Guildford, and I set up a club there, and Winchester set up a club, and in Bournemouth, and then helped set one up in Reading, and also helped set one up in Hull. So I've been involved in about 6 clubs, helping to set them up. And I was on my way to a conference in Ireland one year. And I wasn't going to be doing anything. And suddenly got a panic phone call. One of the speakers hadn't been able to make it, and they wondered if I'd be able to put together a workshop. When I got there, I literally had about 48 hours to prepare this, and I picked up the Toastmasters manual, which is the set of 10 speeches which each member has to work their way through to develop their skill. And thought, well, let me just do a workshop around this manual. And it turned out that it worked out quite well. I did a workshop looking at the goals of the speeches and how that builds into a rounded speaker. At the end of that workshop, somebody came up to me and said, if you just rearrange the order of those things, it actually spells the word PEP, P-E-P. And I thought, wow. So I started working around the idea of delivering a general talk and keynote called Pep Talk. And then I found something was missing. And so eventually I modified the Pep Talk and added another P to it. So that it became Pep Talk. Now, you've probably seen that on my website. You've seen me hashtagging it. And I've been using it ever since because it's become the foundation. And Pep Talk is a very simple approach to thinking about how to create an outstanding speech. And that's really what it's about. Now, in my view, it isn't very difficult to be outstanding. As a professional speaker, obviously, I get to sit around at conferences because often I'm there for the whole day. I sit and listen to all the other speakers. Often it's senior executives and staff and other people getting up doing speeches. I'll be honest, there's a lot of them aren't that good. And that's probably being polite. People pass PowerPoint presentations around and deliver each other's presentations. They're not really sorted about what they're supposed to be speaking. They're trying to follow somebody else's guidelines. Sometimes it's a corporate presentation. They've been told they've got to present, and it doesn't work. And people get up and they deliver all these facts and figures and details and endless slides with figures and facts, and it just drives people to sleep. Death by PowerPoint. It's I'm sure you have experienced it. You've probably been at workshops where this has been happening. So the whole idea around Pep Talk was to try and get people to think differently about putting that speech together. You can't just use a PowerPoint presentation, stick it up. The whole thing is about thinking much more clearly about why you're doing the speech and what you're going to do with it and how it's going to work. Now, PEP stands for passion, experience, purpose, and performance. Those are the 4 key elements of a speech. And I'm going to briefly go through each of those in a minute. And then through the week, I'm going to take each of those and expand it into a little bit more detail so you get to understand a bit more. So if you follow me through the week, what you'll get is a basic course on how to become an outstanding speaker. And when you think about it, being outstanding just simply means standing out from the crowd. And if you can use this formula, you will deliver a speech that will actually entertain audiences, will get their attention, will give them something to go away with, and they'll remember what you had to say. Because I find so often, by the time someone's finished the speech, it has been so complicated and so filled with facts and details, I can't even remember what they were talking about. So in going through this week, I hope to help you to be able to change that and to literally transform your speaking just by thinking a little bit better about the structure of the speech and by working through this formula. Now, I used to start this way. I used to be purpose, experience, passion, performance. But what I found is that passion is actually far more important than I was giving it credit for. So the first element of a great speech is passion. The reason I picked this up from the Toastmasters manual was literally the second speech that you get in the manual is about speaking with passion. It's speaking about a subject about which you have a connection, something you feel strongly about. Now you'll find that if I ask someone to speak about something that really, really gets their goat, something they love, it might be a hobby, it might be something political that they feel very strongly about. I happen to be a very strong opponent of Brexit. You get me on Brexit, I'll go on. I'll give you all my thoughts and ideas, and it will be very passionate. Now, you may not agree with me, but you'll certainly get passionate. It will certainly be a talk that you'll remember. Now, there's got to be a bit more to it than just letting passion go. But the most important thing is you have to be passionate. Now, one of the things that I find is that when people want to go into professional speaking, they start to pick a topic that they think will just sell well. That isn't going to work. It is not going to hack it. You're not going to become a great speaker if you just pick a topic because you think it's where the money is. There's loads of people going to be speaking about those topics, and they may have a lot more experience. What I found is it needs to be a topic that here's the simple thing. If it's a topic about which you would pay someone to let you speak, you're probably close to a topic which is actually the right thing to be speaking about. It's something you just have to speak. You have to get up and talk about. You absolutely love it. I've got two passions. I love speaking about gender and gender issues because I'm very passionate about that. It's part of my life. And I love speaking about speaking because it's been something that's been with me literally since I was, I started really speaking around the age of 19. I'll tell that story tomorrow. But largely passion is the key. Look for your passions. And if you're looking for a topic, just start writing the things that actually get your goat, things that wind you up, things that actually get your time. What takes your attention? What will you spend time on instead of other things? List your passions and then go through those and pick the one or two that really, really are your top passions. And here's one other reason why you need to be doing that. As a speaker, you speak regularly about the same thing. One friend of mine, Richard McCann, who I'm sure you've seen around, does a simple speech about his life and the stories about his achievements. But he's been delivering now over 2,500 speeches, and it's pretty much the same speech every time. Now, let me tell you this. If you are not passionate about your topic, by the time you get anywhere close to those sorts of numbers, you are going to be so bored with your speech, the audience will fall asleep. Same with my topics, same with my speeches. I have delivered thousands of speeches about gender. I never get bored with it. I keep tweaking it, changing it, moving it, modifying it. It slightly changes all the time. But people will listen to me and they've heard me 5 years later, they say, it's pretty much the same speech. Might have updated, but it's pretty much the same kind of speech. And that's why you need to be talking about something that you feel really passionate about. Get some passion in it. Now, the second thing is experience. When you start to speak, when you're delivering a speech, the audience wants to know that you have earned the right to speak. That means you've been there. You've earned the T-shirt. You've gone through the challenges. You've gone through the problems. Yeah, I speak about gender. I've changed my gender. I've dealt with gender discrimination. I speak on diversity and equality, all the things related to gender equality. But I've been there. I've had all the experiences. I've had hate crimes against me. I've had harassment. I've had the fears and challenges of walking out, having changed gender, of standing up in front of a group of people, having changed my gender. And that was when I felt some real fear. So you speak from experience, speak from things that you know. Dale Carnegie used to say, and he's one of the sort of the old greats of speaking coaches from years ago. I'm sure you've heard of the book How to Win Friends and Influence People. Dale Carnegie reckoned you need to know at least 40 times as much about a topic that you're going to speak. You really need to know your business. I've changed my speaking topic 3 times. First of all, I spoke about financial services and sales, and I had been in the business for about 15 years before I started speaking about it. Then I switched to technology. Now, by the time I did that, I'd already had 10 years working with technology. I was working for a technology company as a European sales and marketing manager. I was totally and completely immersed in it. I loved it. It's a big passion of mine, technology. And I knew the subject well. Then I changed gender. Well, I had to start again. I literally had to, when I decided to become an expert and speaker on diversity, I went to university. I did a master's degree. I got involved in all sorts of committees and meetings. I read up everything I could and still do. So there's another topic. Now, as far as speaking is concerned, the big topic at the moment is storytelling. I'm going to be dealing with that on Friday. So storytelling is a great topic. I am reading about storytelling every single day. I've been studying it and getting into storytelling. I've been helping my partner to write a book. I've been looking at script writing. I was trained as an actor when I was younger. So I had a lot of experience around storytelling and around the whole process of delivering stories. So it's a topic I can speak about. It's a topic I can be asked questions on and can handle off the cuff without any problem. If you haven't got that experience, you will get nerves, you will get uncomfortable, and the audience will know. The audience will get you haven't been there, you haven't earned the right. So speak about a topic about which you have earned the right to speak. You know about it, you know it well. Purpose. When you're constructing a speech, I reckon you need one single message. And if that message can be the title of your speech, even better. You need a single message. How many times have you sat and people started to put lists up on PowerPoints, and you get the list, item 7, item 8, and we've forgotten what the first ones are. Our brains can't actually hold that much information. One single message is your best bet. Just one idea, one call to action, one thing you want people to remember more than anything else. And then pick 3 key points you want to make. And I don't know what it is about 3s, but the 3s work. Sometimes you can go for 4. Okay, I'm doing 4 here. Passion, experience, purpose, and performance. But I've created an acronym. Yeah, PEPP. I've created the acronym because then it starts to become more memorable. And if I talk about these and get people engaged in the whole idea of thinking about passion, experience, purpose, and performance, then come looking at notes, come and think about it. Oh, that pep talk. Yeah, what was that? Oh, yeah, that was passion, experience, purpose, performance. They can start to remember those items. 3, we can remember. Can't get any more. But these 3 ideas, 3 key topics, are to support a single message. How to be an outstanding speaker, in this case. So think about this. What's your key message? What's the one thing you want people to take away from your speech? What do you want them to remember? What do you want them to do? And it all comes back to having that one sense of purpose. Do you want to persuade them? Are you going to entertain them? Are you going to inform them? Or are you going to educate them? So just think about the topic. Think about what you're trying to achieve. What is the message? And then build your speech around that core message and keep coming back to it, repeating it and emphasizing it. To do it in different ways so that people get your message. So the most important objective of your speech is that people walk away, remember your message, take action. And finally, we come to performance. A performance is all the aspects of how you get that across. Now, this can take a lifetime to learn. I'm constantly learning and developing my performance techniques. But what I have discovered is that if you speak on a topic about which you are passionate, you speak on a topic which draws on your experience and expertise, so you know the topic inside out, and it's structured around a clear single message with 3 supporting ideas. If you've got that structure together, the performance will largely take care of itself. You will have modulation in your voice. You will entertain people because you will have humorous jokes. You'll have humorous anecdotes of stuff that's happened to you in your life that you'll be able to draw on. Now, you need to be thinking about your voice and improving your voice. You need to think about body language. I'm having to work quite hard at the moment on my performance skills because now that I'm doing this online, I know that I bob around a bit, and I know that that looks a bit uncomfortable. That's part of why I'm doing this 30-day challenge, because what I found is that doing that regular practice of 30 days is helping me. I do the practice, I have a look at it and think, okay, fine, I'm still doing that. Let's stop that. I've got a bit of a cough that I often repeat. I need to watch that. So all of these things are part of my performance. I need to avoid distracting mannerisms. I need to try and make sure that I get my voice right, that I present it in a way that I look at the camera and don't look down at what I'm doing here, because these are all aspects of performing and presenting on camera, doing my speaking here on camera, as opposed to working an audience. But all of those skills you start to learn. If you start with the first 3, passion, experience, and purpose, then you can start developing the performance. Don't do it the other way around. People I've seen sometimes get so focused on trying to get that performance right, but you need the content first. You need to make sure you've got content that's going to grab people and get them inspired to take action on your message. So that's the start. That's just a few thoughts for the idea of, and ideas for today. You find a little bit of information on my website at rickyarundel.com. There's a couple of articles there. I'm going to more information going to be added over the next few weeks in the build up to me doing the workshop, the Pep Talk Experience, which is happening in October. I'll give some dates and details about that later on. Again, it's all going up on the website during the week. So there you go. That's the Pep Talk. That's the Pep Talk formula. Hope you find that useful and interesting. Come back tomorrow and we'll start looking at passion and how you can grab your passion and turn that into a speech more effectively tomorrow. So till then, take care.